Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be talking about my survey results on the module on student in a digital age. So, to begin with, the students that I worked with are all in grade 7 and 8 Taiwanese private school students. And this was our first class switching to online. Started to find out that some students were a lot more international than I had believed. In terms of their English speaking abilities, I think that the areas where they don't feel as confident in, particularly speaking or even like their listening skills, are areas that I really want to focus on. And the activities that they look forward to was really interesting to me because I didn't know how creative my students were. The technology that they have access to was very interesting to me because I know that some students would be much more interested in interactive activities, but I started to think about how I can tailor my lessons to kind of check their understanding based on the tests and the quizzes. So their understanding of like different writing elements or how we present it could be something that could be useful for them. The frequent breaks was interesting. Kahoots wanting more of an interactive environment and the visual elements, colorful PPTs with the backgrounds. I think those were really, really nice. Our class is really long, so especially since it's online, giving them frequent breaks is nice. The student's background should be considered when picking the topics, and that will get them much more motivated. Students call for more interactive activities. They call for more breaks. They want more collaboration. It's important to use technology to contextualize supporting material. Now, for the teacher's background, I focused on teachers from 3 different countries. So, in terms of the purpose of technology in the classroom, they focus a lot on how it was used for interacting with students and how it can help with differentiation in terms of how the students and the school react to the use of technologies. As they went up in years, it became something that either the school would recommend. So in early years, they would use technology to support the materials, giving students visual cues, using much more interactive games, and especially to illustrate concept, since their experience and vocabulary is limited. In primary math specifically, they would use computers, calculators, and overhead projectors. And the teacher would have the students go home, do some research, and then come back and present their findings. They would also use the technology to teach vocabulary definitions. In secondary, they would use language apps specifically to gauge students' language proficiency level and provide them practice. And special education students would have access to these past lessons in order to really make sure that they can solidify their learning and understanding. We have to be wary of the inappropriate contents that students might have access to when going online. We have to teach them responsible digital citizenship. We have to foster self learning and motivate student interest. And we have to be mindful that low technological material or data may seem dated for some students. When we're in pre-K to grade 2, we focus a lot more on play-based learning or videos and dance and song, and that helps special needs students benefit from modeling and also provides visual elements for English language learners to look at. 3 to 5, we can do some practice matching vocabulary that can tailor and invite more kinesthetic learners to participate in the classroom. And special needs students will be able to have more practice since it would be self paced. Then from grade 6 to 8, we can have students become more independent by encouraging them to find their own resources for research. English language learners can use translation apps. Special needs students can adjust the modes of the text in order to understand the research. For example, they might translate it to listening. Then from 9 to 12, they will learn to annotate text. So English language learners can highlight difficult vocabulary and search. And then special needs can change the colors, which can be very suitable for some students in terms of visual impairment as well. Overall, all students get excited and engaged about learning when we use technology, and they can all benefit from using AI, such as online dictionaries, by saying, okay, Google, or even special needs students being able to access recordings of lessons and being able to replay it using captions. All in all, the key takeaways for English language learners and special needs students are: one, technology allows students more independence and opportunities to be self paced. Two, students can use dictionaries and translation apps, including AI, for support. And three, students can change the mode of reception to listening to a text instead of reading or changing the font size, for example.